If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. I was just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived and...
Welcome to the Dark Mom Consortium. I'm Mom.
I'm Darkthorn, and today's episode is me and my chat box.
I'm so glad you recognized that because I thought I'd write it down and then I realized no one else is going to recognize that. But we decided...
I watched a
Go ahead.
lot of MASH.
Oh, I didn't know it was even in MASH. Huh.
Yes, it was. Hawkeye moved out. Me and my chat.
Wow.
Anyway.
Wow. Boy, I'm old. I recognized it from some movie way back when. Anyway,
Of course
the
you
reason we decided to do this one kind of impromptu is because I got a Facebook message today from somebody in the Star Trek Online group who said, in response to somebody's complaint about people not using their chat boxes, that people weren't using chat boxes. And his response was, I've always had it on ignore. I didn't realize it was there for a reason. How am I supposed to set it up? And that's an excellent question.
You can find out you can do a lot of things in the chat box. I mean, you get system messages, you get NPC dialogue, and then you have your little chat points, which we're going to cover today, where you can actually go talk with people.
And Darkthorn has obviously been doing coffee today. You've got some energy in you, sir.
I do.
You
Well,
do.
I've only been talking to people for 8 hours, so I'm just in a mood today.
Okay, your chat box normally appears in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. You can move it any place. To move it, just grab it in the gray section and drag it around to wherever it's convenient. But the lower left-hand corner of your screen is relatively dead in most of the episodes and missions, so it's a great spot to leave it. What we've done here is to bring it into the center of the screen and expand it to the top and to the side so that you can see more of what's going on when we're playing with this.
You'll notice on Solera here, you have a point here about failed to join voice chat channel. You had joined a voice chat channel. Yes, in STO, you can voice chat in game. Most people prefer to use Discord or Skype or TeamSpeak, but there is actual voice chatting in game. But this only works generally when you're in teams, so
we don't use it as for the most part.
Right.
That said,
You may even want to go into your settings, and in the settings there will be a tab called voice chat, and you may want to just disable that entirely.
we have two sections that appear when you go to chat settings. The first one is where it says tabs, and the second one is channels. You can create as many tabs as you want or as few as you want.
Now you will notice in the tabs that there are little check marks near all these little things like Armada and all that. And by clicking or unclicking them, you will actually be able to turn those various chats points off. So if you don't want to hear NPC messages, you just uncheck that. You don't want to see the emote actions, you can uncheck that. If you don't want zone chat, and most people don't, zone's an ugly place, folks. It's very ugly. You can uncheck that and you will not see zone chat messages anymore. Yay! Because sometimes I get a laugh watching zone chat. I got to be honest, there's some crazy stuff there. Crazy stuff.
And some of it's fun. I actually got into Strike Group because I was in zone chat one day. Now, in the channels, you'll notice this is a brand new tune, and she doesn't have any existing channels here. So if you wanted to add a channel where you can talk to specific people about a specific topic, there's a couple of ways to do it. One is that they can invite you to the channel.
2, you can go into this channel setting, type in the channel name.
In this case, we're typing in Strike Group. By the way, you'll notice I showed you how to get into our chat. Hint, hint, hint.
A subtle reminder, folks, because we are all about subtlety here. We have the subtlety of Gallagher whacking a watermelon.
Yeah,
Now,
just
some people
about.
may not get that one, but
I hope they do. You'll also find that things are color coded, and this makes it a little bit easier for you to see what's going on in the chat box. Strike group for me, as we'll get over to strike group for me, is always hot pink. So I'm going to come over here to chat settings. I'm going to right click on strike group, and I'm going to type a message in.
now there's another thing you can do here. You can go into your chat options. And from the chat options, you can actually set points to where it will actually tell you the channel name when you're chatting. I
Yes.
find that a lot easier than color coding things personally, but that's me.
If you want to, you can add a new tab. In this case, I'm adding what I call my fleet tab. In my fleet tab, I add just the accounts that I want in there, which is generally teams, the fleet, my friends, and then whichever specific groups I want to talk to. But I get rid of a lot of these detail things. My fleet chat for me is just the stuff that I want to see while I'm zipping around things.
I do the same thing. I can't say personally, but I would generally think a lot of people do limit some of their tabs to certain groups or individuals.
Great. The one thing I'll say is if you're going into a team game, you're going into a TFO, make sure that your team chat is on. If somebody's trying to direct activities and actions, it's kind of rude to ignore them.
Or call for help.
So we're going to switch over to my regular account, which is at Brondomom, which you're going to see here. You'll see that I've got that fleet account created.
Hint, hint, folks. Hint, hint. That she gave you her name.
I've given them my name before. These
I know.
are all of the channels that I listen to or watch on a regular basis. You'll notice some of these are private. That means you cannot invite yourself into them. You have to be invited to them. Party Animals, for example, is a party channel. If you want to go in and see what parties are going on around the area, they'll tell you. The Trading channel is for those of you who want to work on a different basis for the game that we'll talk about on a different day. Some of these are specific to games like Epo Tag. If you're on New Romulus and you want to do Epo Tag and you want to team up, that's the place to go.
Don't you mean New Momulus?
Yes,
By the
I'm
way-
New Romulus.
By the way, you can only have about 20 of those channels, so you really should pick and choose carefully at some point.
Yeah, if you find you're not using one or something isn't being used anymore, a fleet that you're in isn't there. Let's say you love playing EPOs, but you're only going to New Romulus once a month. You can add and subtract those channels on an as-needed basis. But 20
Right.
channels is a lot of channels.
I filled mine up, but it took years. Took years.
Yeah.
It took years of hard work and effort.
So now you can see all the messages that are coming up. Chat channel, Seventh Order, Federation Defera, all these things are going on.
A lot of system messages. And that's another thing that generally I know a lot of people just turn off.
Yes, I usually turn off chat messages, system messages in the fleet, which is the one that I use. So you'll see here that you're not seeing those system messages. So for general purposes, what I would strongly suggest is make sure that you've got your team set up. If you're in team, make sure that you have access to what's going on team. Put it in a color that is going to catch your eye when you're doing a mission. All right, so I know that's just a really quick down and dirty tutorial on how to do the chat boxes. Experiment with it. Don't hesitate. You can always undo anything. Nothing is permanent. Feel free to join our group if you've got questions in game. Come on and ask questions. I'm sure one of us will be around and we can help you.
Okay, guys, don't feel free to experiment. There's always a point where you can actually reset all this and then start over. So don't worry too much about it. You can't mess it up that bad.
Really, you really can't. That'll do it for us tonight. We'll have this one out in a few minutes here. So for those of you in Strike Group Online Facebook, this one's for you. Thanks for asking. We appreciate it. And hopefully this will help you. Again, any questions, any problems, I'm at Brondomom. on Strike
I'm at-
Group Chat, and that's
I'm at Darkthorn.
Yes. And thanks for tuning in.
Tonight, if I am sad tonight.